Are you getting it? One day somebody attended a workshop. I think that was when NIM was in Lord Emmanuel Drive. And every second the woman, is it a man or the woman went out to pick a call. Immediately she's coming back, another phone is ringing. She was just doing this. I said, madam, why? He said, no, they are calling me from the office. They want to know what they do, this and that. I said, did they not know that you're coming for a workshop all the way from Lagos to Port Harcourt? She said, yes, they know now, but you now have to tell them what they do so that they don't make a mistake. I said, do you mean you didn't prepare somebody in your office? He said, no, as the boss, you need to be on the job every day. I said, what if anything happened to you, God forbid? With the company closed, are you not just a manager? I said, that means you have never prepared people. Essence of leadership is to make your presence unnecessary. The essence of leadership is to make your presence unnecessary. If your presence must always be felt every minute, it means you are not producing any person. It means you are not producing any person. You are not empowering any person. You are not helping this organization. You are not helping even yourself. So the woman continued doing that thing that even her colleagues, because they were up to 5 or 7 in the class, they felt uncomfortable about her regular on and off. And then we forget her. We continue. We stop pretending as if we are noticing her up and down movement. And if you ask her now, she will say she's important to the organization. That will be her own definition of herself.
But she is indispensable. But she didn't know that no woman is indispensable.
They won't give you even 30 seconds silence if anything happened to her. Before it is up to 30 seconds, somebody will interrupt and say, may the soul of all the departed and the soul of Josina rest in peace. They say, hey, that's answer. Highest company give our family 10 million. If any company can ever afford to be that benevolent. Now, managers are not doing enough as they tend to feel. They think they have been doing that, but they only hand over tasks and pass out an assignment routinely. They do it always. But only rarely does the delegated really catch fire. Until the person you delegate an assignment or delegate something to catch fire and become empowered as the person who owns that thing you are delegating to him, he imbibes the spirit of ownership of that thing. Until that time, you have just ended up handing over an assignment. Does that make a sense?
Yeah, it does.
That is why it is not everything you will delegate.
Yes.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
In your delegation, if the person you have delegated the matter to.
Yes, sorry, sir. No. Now, if you don't delegate everything, let's use the workplace as a case study.
Yeah.
If you don't delegate everything, it means that there's something you are hiding or you're keeping back.
Okay.
And it means, it presupposes that you do not have, it means that there's a trust deficit.
Trust deficit. Can we really say that? No.
Of course.
But whether there is something you are hiding, not everything in the workplace you disclose. Not everything that is your secret. Every employee has a secret.
That's why.
Not everything in your office.
That is why this
delegation.
This
topic.
The topic will continue to exist.
Okay.
You understand? Because you have said that there are secrets, there are employment secrets.
Yes.
So that secrets, for example, between you as a manager and your assistant manager, if as close as you are, just a thin line, with just one level, you are hiding something from your assistant, then how could it be that will be ever a time you will have an effective delegation.
Okay. We are coming. This topic is deep. This topic only. Companies pay me heavily for it. Because it is revolutionary.
Yes.
What you're going to learn is revolutionary. There's a point I will get now, you will marvel.
Okay.
It's not everything in your office you disclose, otherwise you don't have a job.
Exactly.
Otherwise you don't have any job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is fear.
What keeps you in the job, you don't delegate it. There are things you will delegate, I will define them, and you will see them. It is not about, you mentioned the word trust.
Yes.
You mentioned the word trust.
That trust is also relative.
It's relative. I will come to trust elements.
Yes.
Now let's look at this thing now.
Yes.
Managers think that they have been delegating, but the truth is that they have not. They pass out instructions, they pass out assignments, they pass out tasks, and they do it on and on. But only rarely does the delegated. Now I'm giving a principle. If I'm the person who's delegating the thing, only when I catch fire with what you have delegated to me, and I see that thing you delegated me as the owner of that thing, being fully responsible for that thing you have delegated to me, and until I see myself as true ownership of that responsibility, that assignment, and its concomitant, that's everything that I have to do with it, the true burden of responsibility is still hanging. And if the true burden of responsibility is still hanging, we have never achieved really let go and letting go. These are the two things that define whether there was a delegation or not. I don't know. We will meet it. Let me come. Okay. See where the problem is. Oftentimes, managers think that letting go is the same thing as really letting go. Remember, among the 14 principles that Henry Fayol encapsulated in his theory of management in 1906 or 19 whatever, delegation is so paramount and very much highlighted. Now, this is where the problem is. Letting go is not the same thing as really letting go. Delegation is actually what is really letting go, LLG. But that letting go does not mean losing your job. It does not mean chaos. It does not mean anarchy. It does not mean confusion. Now, delegation, or what we call passing down, is a partnership of authority between you and the person you are delegating. Take it again. It's the partnership of authority and responsibility to the person to carry out a specific activity. You want to, in your capacity, so there is a need to employ somebody. Are you getting it? And you ask your subordinate, arrange the whole of that work. Arrange the whole of the processes for employment, advertising, recruitment, interviewing, and this and that. And get me the outcome. If that person does not, at the time you are passing that thing, it goes together with authority and responsibility. If that person and you did not really understand that there is a partnership deal going on, that we make him to own up that, or to do that with every amount of freedom, and at the same time, you will have the final decision, something is still hanging. Think over what I said, and think if there is problem. Many years ago, I was working as an assistant manager in Africa Youth Services. My boss was on leave. Though he can also come and do that. we need to employ a confidential secretary to the MD, because the MD's secretary was moved to personnel to be a personnel officer. And by the reason of that time I was system analyst in the company. By the reason of the way the company normally interview, they interview at 3 levels. Technical department, then HR, and then finance. Then, because the person is going to use computer device, which is over 70% controlled by us. So we have 70% of the mark to award, while HR has only 10%, and the other division has only 20%, which is like saying our own mark is enough to override. Are you getting it? Why HR interview just to know, are you a human being or not? They have much, they may not even have anything to ask than, where were you working before this interview? Almost a routine question. Now, the job has been shifted to us. My boss called me, do the whole of that thing and report. I got to the HRM and intimated him, I've been asked to carry out this completely. He said, no problem. If your boss asks you to do, no problem. We will still take it that it is you. It is him. Are you getting it? We will still take it that it is him. And afterwards, that is the department. What we are interested in is that computer systems department have given us their results on who they want us to employ as confidential secretary to MD. Now, that interview had a lot of interest, but God helped me. I was able to manage my way without getting influenced by the interest. For instance, HRM has an interest. Somebody wanted to be there. MD himself had an interest because one of the MD's girlfriend was also interested in the job. MD even invited me to his office. He's a white man, Harold Smith. Mike, so person is my girlfriend. I want to get a job. I want him to get that job. As I was going, I said, Mike, what happened is that just let people do the job. No problem. Do the job. Give me the best person. The best person you know that your heart approve, or you know you approve. I said, okay. So I fixed interview and give them assignment I gave them, and from there I deducted who I picked. And then I reported. I make my reports. They make a full situational report, how the interview was conducted, how many people that attended, their list, and how I score each and every one of them, and how I now approve one person, and my opinion for approving that person. And in case the person declined, the next person I have on the list. When the MD saw it, he said, okay. When my boss saw it, he said, no problem. It was taken to the HR approved it. Now, something was...
But is it not HR that is also saddled to the responsibility of recruiting employees?
They have their own aspect of the question. As I told you, the policy of the company, the HR question was just to find out whether the person is human being or not. They feel that the person is using a technical device. And that was when computer was not popular.
No. Even though you are recruiting or you are outsourcing a technical person, HR will work in conjunction with the technical or the engineering department, who will be part of the recruitment team, and that will be answering and scrutinizing from the technical or operational perspective. So, but soon the job of recruitment
is with the
human resources.
Yes. And I think they also wrote the letter. It wasn't us. Okay. So by the time when we finish our own, we make our recommendation and send to them.
Okay.
So what the HR do is to more or less rubber stamp it.
Okay.
Are you getting it? Because their concern is that the person who should be MD's secretary must be very sound.
Very sound.
Intellectual, and should be able to know how to correct things, should be able to know, because MD releases proposals like water. He can come now and drop 10 proposals and he want to send them to Share tomorrow or Aju. We are our service company. Are you getting it? So the person should be somebody who can act on little impulse to know what to do and to be clever and to be smart. So when I gave them the report and indicated these yardsticks, he took it up. Now, that was an example of delegation. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Something would have made that a not to be delegation. If after the work, it is reversed. That is, somebody begin to go through it from the beginning again to the end. But the fact that my boss immediately look at it and they sign and they say, okay, makes see that he have given me the authority and the responsibility. You know, you are talking of trust. To do that job. Trusting that my opinion about that, even when he is not physically present, should be just like his own, if not more. And when the HR saw it, he didn't say anything than to see it as the department brought it. So it wasn't like a handed task or handed assignment. Now, but let's move a little bit. I want you to get the two words I use here, letting go and really letting go. Really letting go means that you are ready to bear the consequence, whether bad or good, of the decision made by the delegated person. Whatever mistake I have made on that, my boss already have censored it. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Assuming I recommended the wrong person, he have already censored it. Are you getting it? That is what is really letting go. Okay. Now, that is why delegation is dangerous. If you cannot trust the person to take that decision, yes, don't. Because it is assumed, it is taken that you are the person doing that work. Are you getting it? Yes. It is taken that you are the person doing that work.
But Doc, in today's organization, for example, you are the boss, you have an assistant. But before I progress, you know, knowledge is dynamic now.
Yes.
So this word you use, subordinates, in the industry, we don't know that use subordinates again. We use what we call direct reports.
Okay.
Direct reports.
Yeah.
So people delegate, but the delegated person, from time to time, calls the principal when there are serious decisions to be taken. Okay. To say, sir, ma, this is what came up. What do I do? You know, what's your view about it? The person is on vacation resting. He has delegated to you, but there are some sensitive situations. You know, you cannot instantly take a decision. He has delegated everything to you. You still call him for
we made that. We have progression 1 to 10. There is a place where that one falling. We will look at it. Okay. We will see it.
Okay. All right.
Now, see what happened in workplace.
Okay.
Invest time to save time. I don't have enough time, so I will delegate some of it. But nobody is competent. Nobody is competent. So I will coach someone. Can you see this circle?
Yes, I do.
Now let's move a bit. Now see what's happening in circles of job nature. The job must be done. I can do this job, but others can help. I can do this thing, but others can help. Others can do this job, but I can help. Others can do the job. I'm off. This is a typical 4 circles of job that goes on in the office. 4 circles. I must do this job by myself. I must do this job. Others can help. Others can do the job. I can help. Others can do the job. I'm not there. All the work going on in your office go through this 4 circle. Now, look. See, I start my day by making a list of everything I need to do and who I can get to do it for me. Very important for delegation. Now, I start my day, this is manager, by making a list of everything I need to do and who can I get to do it for me. Very principal question. Why? I am involved in managing 3 things. Every manager is involved in managing 3 things. You are managing yourself. Yes. You are managing the work. And you are managing people. You are managing the task, the work. You are managing yourself. You are managing people. So there is a need to think of, can there be really what can be done for me by another person without me losing my authority, without me losing my anything? And if there are things that can be done like that, you have achieved an edge above somebody who cannot find something another person can do for him. Do you want me to repeat it?
Yes, I repeat it.
Can I repeat it?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I am involved in managing myself. I'm involved in managing the task, the work, the activity, the operations, or the project if it is actual thing. I'm also involved in managing people under me. Every manager is faced with this conundrum. Now, it becomes very helpful if there is something I can do which another person can take off my shoulder and do it as if I am the person doing it. It makes my own life better so that I manage myself better and the other things at ease and spare time. Now, if this happens and I don't have somebody to do something, the person is in a bigger issue. Now, that becomes important for this. Now, let's look at the best of delegation now. There will be 4 counter forces that run simultaneously to achieve what I call super delegation. 4 counter forces. The one is the delegator, which is the boss, has a high standard which he or she lives in, transmits, and uniformly expects. It's a force. It is not actually bad, but it's a force. And this force don't run separately, it runs together with other ones. Number 2 force is the boss has a crystal vision of where the ship is headed. He knows where the department is expected to be, and in which he or she and the delegate have faith in. In fact, the delegate is made the living embodiment of that vision. Did you see the second point? The boss and even the delegate knows that there is a place they are going in that work. And even 2 of them are embodiment of that vision. Remember the first thing I said? The person has a high standard of expectation. The second one is that there is a vision before them. Vision is where your eyes want to see that you have not yet seen. That's the meaning of vision. What you want to see that you have not yet seen. Now, number 3 is the boss wholeheartedly believes in people and will be deeply disappointed as a mentor, as a boss, if he or she is failed. Are you getting it? If he or she is disappointed by the people he's going to delegate something to, that's another force. The boss will be wholeheartedly believes in people in a way that disappointing him or her will be fatal. That's 3rd force. The 4th force is the boss let the delegate bite off a lot more than he can chew if he is insistent upon doing so. That means the boss give a lot of latitude
Yes.
to the delegatee or delegated,
Yes.
so that he can bite more than he can chew if he's insistent of having more of the authority.
Yes.
But stops just a touch short of letting him take that. Are you getting it?
Yes.
But stop short of letting him take that. These four forces are at war at the same time, they are working at the same time. Let's see how best to handle it. Because ability to manage these four forces will make the person to achieve best of delegations. Moving to true delegation means crossing the imaginary line which transfers psychological ownership to delegates. Moving to true delegation means crossing the imaginary line which transfers psychological ownership of the responsibility of the authority to delegates. That graphical or that picture exactly show more or less what delegation is. If you know what they do in a relay, somebody have done a part and now he gives you to continue. That exactly shows you the graphic picture of what a delegation is. At the time when that thing is transferred to you, you are in charge. If you mess it up, you have brought the person who has given you that authority into ruin.
So there's a question, Doctor. Can you delegate power? Between power and authority, which one do you delegate?
It's authority. Authority means delegated power. That's the meaning of authority.
But you cannot delegate power.
No, you can't delegate power. Now, look at some skills. We have raised some issues, we will come back to that, but look at some skills. Whenever you are delegating, then you must address a lengthy series of questions. You must address a lengthy series of questions whenever you are delegating. Question number one is, have you first transmitted the vision to the person you are going to delegate? Have you transmitted the vision with clearness, with clarity? Is the person understanding what he's going to do? Is the person understanding, apart from what to do, where the organization is going? How much the person know about the business of the place? Many employees don't know the business of where they are working. Are you aware? Yes. Many employees don't even know the business of where they are working. What they are interested in is the salary. Yes. They don't know the vision of where they are. And this is even more in public sectors than private sectors. Are you getting it? Okay. Now, question one is, have you first of all transmitted the overarching vision, the pen of where the organization wants to go to the person you are delegating this power to? And has that person buy in? Have the person bought into that vision? Because if he has not bought into that, if he's arguing with that vision, if he's not interested in that vision, he's the wrong person to delegate to. Number two question you should ask, have you set a standard in the past that make it clear that the person knows the level of, the kind of performance you expect? Do the person you're delegating this thing to, did he know that you're a person who have a standard? Are you getting it? There are so many people that are casual people. They are not a serious people. They are not a high performance. They are not high performance people. They don't perform high. And now you have to delegate something to them. Are you sure this person know the kind of performance standard you expect? You should answer this question. Number three question. Have you demonstrated in past, in small ways, that you trust the delegates, the judgment of the delegates? Because if you have not ever trusted this delegates' judgment, he also will have problem that you cannot believe the outcome of what he will do.
Yes.
So have you in any small way shown these delegates, the person you're going to delegate, that I trust your judgment? If he have seen you as somebody who have never trusted his judgment, he will also believe also that no matter what you do here, you will not accept it. Which we mean what people call death on arrival. I don't know whether you have heard of that grammar. Death on arrival. That means something is already bad before you have commissioned it, before you start talking about it. The fourth question is, do you have a track record for jumping in at the last moment before the deadline to put the irons or others to whom you have delegated out of the fire? Do you have a record of not being stable? You give somebody an assignment, you go back to it and begin to take it back or adjust it or begin to reassign. Do you have a track record for jumping in? In other words, do you have a track record of giving somebody freedom to do something from the beginning to the end? That's another way of asking that question. Now, these are questions you have to ask, and you will see ask more. Do you consciously avoid attending meetings? That is, avoid the seemingly innocuous excuse for attending just to be informed. It is your show when the delegate is meeting with his or her team. Outsiders, such as customers, this and that, vendors, more senior people, including your own boss. Have you beaten your tongue and stay out of delegates' hair when back-channel reports or gossip inform that you, example, Joe is Joe is in over his head, Joe didn't check with me, all those. Now, have you also stepped away your boss or staff expert who want status reports? These are critical questions that somebody that is about to delegate a matter is supposed to ask himself with respect to the person he's also going to delegate, whether he has also committed himself in a way or the other, or whether he has in past established this record. Have you avoided excessive reporting? What kind of report? Excessive reporting, this and that. Have you given the manager formal authority a high this and that? What I mean by have you avoided excessive reporting? Remember that when you are delegating something to somebody, the person also may also cast a view on things that have been never delegated to you, or the way you also handle things. And most of these things will affect the person's freedom in doing a very good work, or may make the person develop a tough skin of not being careful with the assignment given to him, saying that I know him after all. The one they asked him to do the other time, did he do it well? Why is he asking me to do this? Now, these things have a way they fire back before you choose to say that it is Joe that will do this work. It is Joe that I'm delegating to handle this. Or it is Kunle. This is plain. Now, have you provided separate space, at best fitted space in another building, even a block away? That is, have you ever chatted or talked with this person separately on issues that you're to delegate to him? When he or she calls or stops for advice or to touch bases, do you avoid giving this and that? Up to this number 12. Now, let's look at, you have to delegate some authority. Let's look at, you have to delegate some authority, and there are 7 levels of authority we normally mention. When you are delegating, you are not only delegating assignment, you are delegating also authority, and you're also releasing responsibility. 7 levels of authority. This is tell, sell, consult, agree, advise, and inquire, and delegate comes in as 7th. And with this, these are there are several expressions of it. Let me show us a flow chart of how delegation goes. The first one is I do. The second one is I do. You watch before you delegate. The person must have seen you do that thing you want to delegate. Incidentally, what you have not done before, and you ask a delegate, somebody to do it, and the person knows you have not done this type of thing, even you that is asking you, that can also bring trouble in that delegation. So I do, you watch, we do it together, and then you do, I watch, then you finally get delegated, you do. And the first one is what we call realization. I do is realization. The person is realizing that you can do it. The second one is observation. I do, you watch. The third one is you are collaborating with the person. And the other one is evaluation. Now you do.
You are evaluating the person.
The person now do you watch. You are assessing the person. Another one is evaluation. And then the fifth one is evaluation.
Yeah, fifth one is.
Yes.
No, wait, bring that slide again. 1, 2, 3, 4. The
fifth one is really the person now do.
And the fifth one is the delegation. So what of the sixth one?
It's fifth.
Okay, it ends with
the person now do. And you just allow him do the work and get back to me later.
Okay.
You don't need to be watching it again. Are you getting it?
Okay, yeah.
You don't need to be watching him again. At evaluation, you are watching him do it. At evaluation, you're watching him do it. In case he makes a mistake, you correct him. One of my friends, this example just come to my mind now. One of my friends, her sister bought a car. In those days, this was even in the, late 90s? They live in this Port Harcourt. I don't know whether that's still there's law. And the sister asked her to teach her how to drive. So the man entered the car. They went to where we call artillery, Port Harcourt. And they drove there. The man drove there. Then they entered into the road. He was driving. Asked her sister, watch me, everything I do. Watch her, I move my leg. Watch her, I move my hand. The sister was watching. He did it many places. Move again, watch me, keep watching. Now after that, he asked the sister, well, come and be in the driver's seat while he moving. Then he will be holding the steering and the sister will be driving. He will be. And the sister, now it's like when you're holding a pen for a child that is learning how to write. Then after some time, he learned how to withdraw his hand. The sister was still doing it. After some time, he asked the sister, to let me watch. I'm still here. And the sister tried many times. Then the man then came, later drove the car back to artillery and faced the car towards way home. And they come out of the car and asked the sister to enter the driver's seat. The sister thought that it was the same way. Immediately the sister entered the driver's seat. The man stopped another bus, enter bus, and go.
He didn't trust her.
No, the sister said, hey, this wickedness. Oh, how will I drive this car? From the window, he told the girl, if you can drive it to him, that is over. Heat and from everywhere, through the girl's body. Fear. How can I move this car and midst of other cars? Somebody told her, the same way you were doing when he was holding it, just that same way. Just be confident of yourself. You know, the girl brought the car home. And he told her, that's end. That is how the guy learned driving. The girl was telling me this, so he said, this my brother gets hurt. I said, but you have learned it now. You have learned it. What are you saying? Can you not see that the way he taught you has fit into your mode and it is good? Not everybody can teach you by meke. Exactly. You have seen that your brother is a hard teacher. Exactly. Now, that is a kind of this flow chart. Are you getting it? Yeah. So, At the end of it, the demand I have now as private. If you can bring back this car, that is end of it. If you cannot bring it, stay here. So now the last assignment of the girl is to deal with fear, to suppress fear, and know that the same thing the brother he was doing when the brother was helping her, the same thing he should be doing until he bring the motor to where they call waterline here. Waterline, where the brother. Now, these are 5 stages of delegation. I do, realization, you do, I do, you watch, observation, we do, collaboration, you do, I watch, evaluation, and you do. Now, delegation helps to reproduce people. It helps to educate, enable, engage, and ultimately empower. It is 4 E's. It helps to educate people. When you are delegating something to people, you're educating them. You are enabling them, not disabling them. You are enabling. You are also engaging them. You are also putting power into their hands. Now, Napoleon, Moshe Dayan, Vince Lombardi, Pierre Branch, and Ken Stabila have one thing in common: establishing the context for delegation. 3 things must be there. For delegation to be, the context must produce 3 things. The person and you, there must be faith, connection. You have faith in that person. There must be mutual respect for each of you. You can't delegate to somebody you don't respect. And somebody that don't respect you, please don't delegate to him. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Because you are like selling out yourself.
Let me ask you this question. In an organization that follows a hierarchy,
okay.
You are the boss, you are the manager. You have an assistant manager. And then you now have, you have a deputy manager. And then you have an assistant manager. Okay. In the workplace, deputy manager is higher than assistant manager. So you don't trust the deputy manager. You don't have faith in the deputy manager. But he's next to you.
Yes, that's a problem there.
Now you trust the assistant that reports to the deputy manager. What would you do?
It's a problem. Delegation, we have problem in that setting. Because...
And you must delegate to the next most senior.
It's wrong. That is where organizational policy go wrong. You know, when they make some of these organizational policies, their mind, they go far. Are you getting? The person making it may not even be so good in management.